Hello and welcome to the Year of Shame 2023. And now, let's go balls deep and meet this week's presenters.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Year of Shame Challenge podcast, a podcast where a bunch of people decide not to buy and play new games for a whole year. What were we thinking? My name's Jayce Stokes, one of your hosts today, and joining me, who lives in a pineapple under the sea, it's Si Stevens.
All right then, Jayce. All right, guys.
Absorbent and yellow and porous as he, Ross Grieve.
All right.
And something about flopping on the floor like a fish, it's got to be Gav.
Oh, it's got to be me. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Let me just address the elephant in the room. Not you, Si. The other elephant in the room. Rumour has it that we recorded a show, and then somebody didn't download the audio files. We're not going to dwell on it. I fucked up, so we're back, and we're going to ignore that it didn't happen, and we're going to crack on. So hopefully this one reaches you, because the last one was really, really good. It was like BAFTA award-winning, fucking 7 Oscars for best audio, everything. So this one will hopefully be just as good.
I think it was the fact that we had Ross Abbott doing a.
Shut up, Simon.
Sorry.
I mean, we did lose the first cunt in the podcast, so there you go. We can squeeze that one in.
First cunt?
I've managed to go 3 recordings with it saying cunt.
Oh, I can't go 2 sentences.
Have we sent the email to the Guinness Book of Records, mate?
Yeah, Norris McWhirter's on his way around. To start off with, my little agenda I've been given here says we've got to catch up with some questions that we didn't answer last month, or whenever it was. Usual question, Kev Atkinson saying who's going to break first and buy a game. We all know it's from me, Ross. That's fine. Don't need to answer that one, do we? Similar question, Alan Cooks said almost a quarter of the way through, who's going to break first and why do you think it'll be Ross? I think there's a consensus building here, Ross. Are you going to refute these claims, or?
I mean, I dare say it would be me, but the competitor in me is saying fuck you all, and I'm not buying anything.
Right. We've still got to rely on Si buying some Mickey Mouse themed nonsense.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's all I've got to wait. That or Gav. I know Gav's got to buy Jedi, so.
It's in the library already, mate. Because a mate who I game shared with has bought it. It's staring me in the face, just saying.
It counts like a fail to me. I think it's in your library.
It's 140 gig though, so it's probably going to take about 2 years to download. So I'll be safe.
You get it 3 years before Si. That's good. 140 gig.
Wasn't it? We were in 80 gig day one.
That seems excessive. I know that games are getting bigger than that, but like 140 gig.
That's almost a third of the storage space on an Xbox Series S. Although that might not be as big because I guess texture-wise and stuff, but fucking hell.
And I've got the expansion card, and it's still a lot.
I know, like Destiny, when you've got everything installed on that, is getting on for that much, but that's like multiple years worth of expansions and stuff. Better be fucking good if it's taking up that much space.
Plus, there'll be a day one patch for like 50 or 60 gig to update it or something. And
what they should do is get these games, download them onto like a physical media that they can just give you, and then plug it in and it'll work. Do you reckon that would come about? Or are we not? Are we not in the future enough?
Too much like common sense.
Too much in the future.
It'll never work. One day, maybe in another 500 years, when we're flying around like George Jetson, maybe we'll be able to get physical games that just plug in, like on a little cartridge or something. Imagine that. Anyway, another question. Ross, do you want to do this one?
Sure. This one comes from Dave Southall. And he says, I play a lot of old-ass games because they seem to try an awful lot of new ideas. Think PS1 era Sony, where you got loads of barmy titles like Devil Dice, never heard of it. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, never heard of it.
Stop. Don't you dare gloss over Devil Dice. Devil Dice is by far my favourite puzzle game of all time on any well, not any platform, but certainly of that era and eras since. Devil Dice is one of the finest mechanical puzzle games you've ever seen. You're essentially manipulating dice around a board to match up groups of different numbers. I first played it on a Net Your Rose demo disc, and then I scoured the world for a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years, trying to find a physical copy of the full game, which I've now got sat in my PS1. It's the only game that goes in my PS1 now, and it's beautiful. So if you haven't played Devil Dice and you like puzzle games, play it. Sorry, continue the question. I had to. I couldn't let that go. I couldn't let it go.
Other mentions in here are Parappa, which I have heard of. If anybody wants to sing, crack on.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
Moving on. New games don't seem to be giving me that same happiness, original factor. So he's asking, what was the last game that truly made you have a whoa moment?
Is that whoa or wow?
Wow.
Whoa?
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Dude. What game blew your socks off?
For me, it was the last one I can remember that did it was the First Division game. Just the scale of the map and everything looks awesome in it, particularly on the 1X I was playing it on, and that for me was the last time that I picked up a game. I mean, there's been loads of them that over the years that you think look great, but that was the last wow moment, I think.
Nice. Are you, Si? I know you're pretty easily impressed.
I'm easily impressed because like just give me a fucking Mickey and I'm happy. But the last game actually gave me a wow moment. I think it's more of like an enjoying the humor, and it didn't mean to be humorous. I was back on a PC and I picked up Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 with like all the old Tim Curry full motion videos when like games were really big on putting the full motion video cutscenes into the games, and like Command and Conquer did it well, and Wing Commander did it well, and they both look shite nowadays. But yeah, I always remember being 13, 14 and being blown away that it was like a mini movie in a game.
Yeah, it's something that was pretty good back in the day. It was a bit different to see some FMV, wasn't it? Yeah, nice.
I guess for me, I mean, just last year, Elden Ring. I mean, that was fucking phenomenal. And coming from someone who, like, I've never been into the whole Soulsborne stuff. Just too hard. Can't be arsed with it. But Elden Ring, something just really clicked when I played that. And I mean, the sheer scale of it, it was just phenomenal. But I guess more to the question though, so I think really, you only really think about these moments like in the next generation, if that makes sense. Like I can think of like, looking back at the sort of Sony PS1 era and all that, and you know what the standout moments were, but because we're living them now, they don't really stand out, if that makes sense.
I'm sure there's a study that explains this phenomenon of what is something that's incredibly important to you at the time just drifts away over time. I've got to agree with you on the old Elden Ring thing though. The just the scale and the ridiculousness of that. Again, I'm not a Soulsborne player, and that one, yeah, it gave me some special feelings. That's for sure. Special anger at lots of times, but
Yeah, fucking was it Melina?
Oh, I didn't get that far. Don't be silly. I don't get
Oh,
that
come
far
on.
through games. Don't be fucking ridiculous. You want me to complete games next?
Jayce is still walking around the edges of the fucking map.
You're not even wrong, mate. I just get on a horse and run past everything as much as I can and find areas that I really shouldn't be, and I find weapons that I'm never going to be able to use. Brilliant. Yeah, something that always gives me a wow. And it doesn't really matter what it is. It's every time I do something in VR, it still just blows my mind. Like I go back and play Astrobot, which I've been playing a lot again recently, and just the fact that VR is so seamless, even on the old PSVR sets. I cannot imagine what it's like with one of these new Vive Pro things that's got 5K resolution and stuff, which I have been looking at recently, and I will buy one day. Yeah, VR stuff just blows me away. Like the other day, it was raining outside. I couldn't bother going out. So I was just playing disc golf in VR in my gaming room. It was amazing. Loved it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I can't remember the last time recently that I've been wowed by a game. It's just, I don't know if it's a new thing. And until you just mentioned VR, and I remember plugging in the VR to play Star Wars Squadrons. I didn't like Star Wars Squadrons, like sitting in front of the PC screen playing it, but putting the headset on totally makes it different. And remember that I hate first-person games with a passion, and being in the moment, and it's like, it's even down to the fact of just turning your head actually changes your perspective. And I know that's what VR is meant to do, but it's like you're not touching your right analog stick.
Have you been outside?
No,
I know what you mean though. It's because like when you're as I say, I mentioned Astro Burger, when you're playing that and you stand up and look behind you and there's something hidden, you're like, oh, this is special.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain the fact that you're not just moving your right analog stick, you actually are physically moving, like as you say, like you're going outside. But we don't do that as gamers. If you want to turn around, you're turning your analog stick. And yeah, that is just so amazing that there's a game behind you.
You ever done Resident Evil in VR?
I
You
don't
can
do
fuck
horror
that. I played
games.
that kitchen demo thing. That
It's
can fucking
fucking
get in a bin.
terrifying.
No, thank you. I lasted about 4 seconds on that kitchen demo.
But I think my wife's got a video of me playing it, because when we first got the VR, it was like, yeah, let's everybody put it in the living room. Everyone's getting a shot of this, and now it's relegated to my little shed. But yeah, we were doing one Saturday night. She was just watching me playing it, and yeah, first bit that made me shit myself was a door closing behind me. Obviously, you've got the immersive sound and stuff, and then I think it was really quite early into the game. There's that little creepy bitch that like comes crawling up the stairs at you. So that the headset got fucked off, and I've never been back to it.
And it's crazy how it affects you as well. It's like there's so many YouTube videos, which is great entertainment. There's one of those games on VR that it's literally just you go up in an elevator. I can't remember what the name of it is. You go up in an elevator and there's like a plank of wood that you walk along. And people are putting planks of wood in like their gaming room and their living room, and like you're walking on that to get the full concept of it. Go and watch some YouTube videos. There is hilarious of people like falling off the actual plank, even though they're falling off the plank in their head.
Yeah, then ripping their TV off the wall.
That's why you buy a Quest, not a PS4 VR.
It is weird how, because it's in your eyes. Like, I think one of the sort of little demo type games that they put in, it was like a heist thing, and it's got like a shootout where you're in a bar. And obviously, it starts off and you fuck about with smoking a cigar and that, but then it all kicks off and you're starting to shoot and you're trying to cower behind the table, and just as it went on, I tried to lean on the table and fucking face planted right into the living room carpet.
There's so many YouTube videos as well. Like, is there like a snooker game on VR as well? There's like when they're taking the shot, they're leaning on the table that isn't there.
Yeah, been there. Got the
Right,
brew.
VR then. We all love it. It's brilliant. We knew this.
Yep.
Right, that's enough questions. Enough questions for the minute. Let's move on to some progress. Anyone made any progress? Short version.
Short version, yeah, completed Men in Spandex with WWE 2K22. I've also finished the
You
Word
completed
Search.
Men in Spandex in real life as well.
Yeah,
Completed it, mate.
That's it. It's like you
With
weren't
extra
available
oil.
on the weekend, so the finished the Word Search extravaganza of her story and telling lies. I don't see where the hype for those games were at all. It's talking about the VMF of how great it was. It's just I didn't get into that. It was literally just fucking typing words into a keyboard, and that was it. And then to go the complete opposite way, I completed the Grounded in Reality Saints Row 4.
Nice dose of ridiculousness. That was a fun game. I enjoyed that.
It was. I mean, I'm going to say it jumped the shark a little bit, but it fucking leapt it in leaps and bounds. I mean, you get superpowers in like the first 10 minutes where you can leap over buildings with one leap and super fast speed, so you never get in a fucking car ever again. And yeah, it was a bit of a stretch to say the least, but it was some good shooty bang bang at times. And of course, did the evergreen of Peglin finished another couple of rounds of that in the Crucible rounds, so I'm getting there on that ever so slowly. And of course, WWE Supercard on the mobile while I'm sat on the toilet.
Good work. Good to see progress being made. Gav, what are you saying?
Okay. So far this month, I've been playing season 2 and 3 of Modern Warfare 2. I've managed to complete the second season pass. That was quite fun, but the third one's a bit of a letdown, as well as buying the card points to buy the season pass, which I managed to earn in the last one. You've then got to buy, if you want anything decent from the season, an extra black, I think it's called season pass, which is 25 quid on top, which, for a AAA 60 to 90 quid game, depending which version you buy, is just taking the mick. So yeah, I think that will probably be me done with any more seasons on Call of Duty if it's like that. Aside from that, I've managed to make some progress on Spec Ops. Been playing the line. Have been playing that. That's quite good.
What a
So
game.
someone mentioned the story is brilliant on it.
That is a fucking. I loved that. Loved it. No spoilers, but yeah, brilliant.
And apart from that, much to the delight of me and shout out Dave Southall, there's a performance next gen upgrade on Far Cry 5. That evergreen game we seem to be making loads and loads of progress at the rate of a asthmatic ant carrying heavy shopping on.
Are they adding stuff faster than you're getting through it, though?
Oh, not stuff, but there are literally they must realise from looking at the servers, there's still two idiots still making their way through the campaign on this, so they must have done a performance next gen mode just for me and Dave. I mean, they've brought out a whole nother game since that we still haven't got to yet.
That kind of game, though, those open world ones where they do keep a following of people, they do keep a core of people that are still in it.
I mean, it's a really good setting as well. It's sort of like redneck, middle America. Really good music on the cars whenever you get into them. It's good fun. You could spend ages just driving around, shooting things, having a laugh.
I think the only thing that put me off with Far Cry 5 was the sort of emergent break in, like the story bits where you're going along doing your old thing, and then it's like was it kidnapping or something kicks in.
Yeah.
And it was just like, fuck off and let me do what you're doing. It was always when you're in the middle of something, and it was like, oh, there's a load of wankers coming along to fucking shoot you and take you away, and force the story to progress. And that shit.
Is Far Cry the one? I've never played a Far Cry. Is Far Cry the ones that every one of those games that you can complete it and roll the credits within 5 minutes if you don't give in to your urges to be a gamer?
I think there's like a couple of Easter eggs, and certainly Far Cry 4, they've done that. It was like if you didn't do the prompt that says run away and shoot everything, you got to see the like a happy ending, I guess. Was it happy? Don't know. Never actually watched it, just read about it because I took the shoot everything.
At that sort of time, you'd have been Love Film. Can you imagine picking up Love Film, getting that delivered, getting it, not following the prompt, coming up, credits rolled? Oh, fucking hell, that's done. Send it back.
I think there was an achievement for it, though, so yeah.
There you go then. More progress. Is that you, Gav? Sorry.
The only other thing we've been playing is our usual sort of Tuesday night gaming sessions. We've been making our way through Dying Light 2, but that's had a next gen update or a new combat update this week, and that game is just massive. That's going to go on for a good few months yet, I think.
As long as Far Cry.
No. We're actually making progress on Dying Light 2. Far Cry, it's very, very limited.
So I've made actual progress, even though life is super busy and I've got wedding prep and tournament prep and other such lots of things going on. I did manage to complete a game. I don't complete games very often, so it's quite a moment for me. I thought I'm going to dive in and mainline a game. I don't ever do main missions, but here we go. So I fired up Borderlands 3 and I thought, wicked, let's get on the main track. So I launched the main quest line. I did one little side mission, one little quest to go somewhere, and then it put me straight into the final boss fight, which I won in about 4 seconds because obviously you get overpowered by the time you get to the bosses on the first run through. So yeah, it took me about 20 minutes to actually complete a game, which was quite nice. I expected there to be a lot more to do. So next on my hit list is completing Astrobot. Now I'm back on the VR thing. That is my entire progress.
I think you did see the end credits on something else, didn't you? I dragged you kicking and screaming into Gunfire Reborn.
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, that doesn't really count, does it? 'Cause it's an endless game,
Yeah,
like all of the other games that I play.
you still got a thing at the end that says you've completed it.
I did, and I did pop a big stack of achievements thanks to you and Monty. So yeah, appreciate that. Need to do some more of that soon.
Yeah, definitely. We've kind of fell off it a bit just with, I don't know, life moving on. But I've still not finished it. I don't think I'll ever finish it, but it's fucking cracking game.
So go on. You must have done some more stuff, Ross. What you've been doing?
Oh, I've done. I mean, I've sacked off quite a lot. Crash Bandicoot, put that on. Do not like it one bit. It's ye old rose tinted specs. Just I don't know. The controls feel really off. You'll stand on a box and fall off the box. It just doesn't seem to jump properly. So rather than try and grin and bear it, just got uninstalled. Tried Metal Hellsinger, which a lot of people really liked. I did not. I thought it was shit. We've lost Gavin.
He'll be back. Or he
Okay,
won't.
I'll just keep talking. It's my talking bit anyway. Metal Hellsinger uninstalled. My timing is. I don't know if I've set it up wrong, but my timing was shit, and I just kept dying. Didn't enjoy it. Uninstalled. Tried Death's Door again. Everybody raves about that. Thought it was a bag of shite, so that got uninstalled. Shenmue 3, don't think we really need to get into more rant about that, but I watched the YouTube videos of the story, and it made me even more angry than when I was actually playing it. So they took a 20-year gap to give you what was supposed to be the final installment and ended it on a cliffhanger. Fuck them. We've got in the completed pile, razzed through the first Telltale Batman. All right for I guess interactive movie, as Telltale games are. Got the second one to play, maybe do that next month. Modern Warfare 2 campaign, played through that in a couple of days. I had actually managed to get a week off my work, coming in at the start of April. So that was what got blitzed. Some unfinished business there, and obviously it'll hang around for forever for the multiplayer, or at least until, I don't know, Modern Warfare 3 / whatever comes out in the meantime. Next time. Whatever. What else did we do? Contrast on Game Pass. Started that for it was a weekly quest, I think, to get, or a monthly quest, some shit. But I actually ended up really quite enjoying that. It was nice little puzzler with the old shadow bouncing, jumpy niceness.
Contrast, is that the one that's very similar to Hue?
I mean, Hue was that not just colour based changing stuff?
Yeah.
I really can't. I've played Hue, but short of the 4 colour thing, I can't really remember what you'd done in it.
Did you play the sequel, Hugh, Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub?
Pew, Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub.
Oh, he's showing your age there, Jayce.
I'm just a wee young thing. But it was quite good. I mean, I didn't win any awards, but I quite enjoyed the puzzling side. It you've basically got to transfer between sort of real world and shadows, so you manipulate objects to use the shadows to get to places that you shouldn't be able to get to, shit like that. But yeah, quite good run stat achievement wise. Other one I finished was Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. I think that was a game with gold a year, maybe 2 ago. That kind of scratched the Diablo itch that has been kind of surfacing, having heard everyone talking about Diablo 4. And Diablo 4 is out really soon, but we won't talk about that because I'm not buying games.
You don't need it, Ross. You don't need it. Resist.
Want it. Last one on the completed pile. If you've seen the photo I posted up on Midlife Gamer, it was a fucking thumb destroyer, which was Streets of Rage 4. So that is 100% complete. Nothing left to do in it, but it's never getting uninstalled because it's Streets of Rage and it's fucking awesome.
That was
And
some
if you've not
achievement,
played
mate.
it, you should go play it. You what?
I said that was some achievement, getting through that on that achievement.
My thumb is just about recovered. Maybe it didn't be better with a joystick, I don't know. But yeah, I peeled a good few layers of skin off trying to get those like finish every level with the S rank.
You fucking beast. That's outside of my fucking range, that is, mate. Fair play.
I bled. It was worth it. But yeah, that's me. Quite a quiet month.
Yeah, well, looks like lots of people have got time to play lots of games. Right, that's progress out of the way. Let's move on to the next bit on this agenda, which is what have we missed recently? Obviously, we've got a bit of an extended period over this, but what have we missed since last time we put a show out that's really making us cry? Anyone got any ideas?
I mean, my immediate one is Dying Light 2. That's looking pretty stunning. I keep seeing, obviously because it's just out, everybody on Twitter's tweeting, sharing screenshots, and it looks phenomenal. And I really liked the other ones and everything else that came with it.
What else on the list, sorry?
Not really missed anything yet. Hogwarts was a bit of a not being a fucking wizard, a bit annoying, but that was a good couple of months ago. There's not been anything.
I literally did that in the last show, and I put a funny little clip in.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. Yeah, there's nothing there that's. Since then, there's been nothing that's really jumping out. That's. I'm not missing. Not buying games just now.
So generally, we haven't missed a great deal yet. Then, isn't June usually a bad month for game releases? Isn't that one that usually makes a lot of things come out?
Yeah, I mean, right away you've got Diablo. Oh no, Diablo is Diablo May. Fuck knows, June, May, whatever. That
We've
kind
got
of summer period.
Gollum in May.
Ooh.
Has anybody actually seen any gameplay for that though?
No, but it's Gollum.
Brilliant. Is that not going to be tied into the film? So it's by dint of being tied into a film, it's going to be wank.
Is it not set between the events of the films? Or is it?
I don't know.
set
Sorry,
between
you're the
them?
one telling the story.
I don't know. It's 1 minute caller. Let me check.
Yeah, it's set
We
between
haven't
the events
got
of The
one.
Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. See,
He finds a ring. He fingers. Oh no, he lost a ring. I don't know.
loses the ring, wanders around, fucking eating fish. There you go.
Played with his own ring. I don't know.
Isn't there supposed to be a new Final Fantasy in June as well?
That's coming up quietly. If it is, I'm not saying any of that.
22nd of June, Final Fantasy 16.
I can fuck off. Skipping Xbox. Pricks.
Is it? Oh, no wonder
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Get in the bin. Why are we still doing exclusives in these days?
Yeah, especially third party wise. It's like, yeah, let's money hat it. Fuck off.
Right, well, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that we're going to cry about soon, but that section is cut short for now. Right, a couple more questions then. Let's go back to this. Mark Monaghan's out. Go in. Name one game you'd wish someone made a sequel for, but never did.
Binary Domain. Don't know if you remember that, but that was like Gear of War crossed with Terminator. It was
Oh, nice.
fucking brilliant.
I think that one passed me by actually.
Listen, if you want it, I have a copy of it. You're welcome to. Well, I don't know how that fits in with your rules, but that was
I'm sure I can play at some
really
point.
loved it.
Which-
I think it actually had co-op as well.
See, now I'm interested.
I'll need to boot it up and check. Actually, I think I played it in co-op. There was an arena mode at the end of it as well, but nobody played that. But the story was like really good. I might just thinking about the story. I think it might not be co-op because you had certain interactions with your like AI buddies that boosted their like relationship status with you. Not like to fuck you or anything, but got them
What's the point
upgrades and
then?
shit. But that was cracking. Yeah, look it up seriously. Brilliant. They should make a sequel to it, or I'd pay for one of the few games I'd pay for a sort of tarted up version of.
Nice. Well, I've got one. Bulletstorm was the one that I always wanted another one of, with the over-the-top weapons, the combo kill mechanics. So much good stuff in that game, like the whole fighting through a falling over skyscraper. Just so many good moments in that game. Excuse me, I just burped. So many good moments in that game that I'd love for more of that. Bigger, better, harder. Yes, please. Never going to happen, but I can keep wishing.
I've never actually played the original.
Oh mate, you got to play that game. It's such good fun.
You play Binary Domain, I'll figure out Bulletstorm.
Like a little exchange student thing with games.
Has it been a game with gold at all?
I'd be surprised if it hasn't. It's that kind of game that makes its way through that system. What about yourself, Si?
I would probably say something along the lines of Detroit Become Human would have been to see a sequel for that. Or do you remember Quantum Break? That would have been a nice to have. They could have easily done like seasons of that. Would have been nice as well. Because it was billed more of a TV show in a game. Like the cutscenes were all like 40 minutes long. So it's like you played the game and then you watched an episode of the TV show. So they could have easily done
Weird.
seasons.
That sounds
Yeah.
like fucking hell to me. Wasn't it third person as well?
It was third person. Do you think
Yeah,
I'd have
it
fucking
sounds like
played it if it was
fucking
first person?
absolute wank. No, thank you.
Guy, it wasn't the best acted, but there was some fucking cracking names in it. As the guy that just died was in it.
The guy that just died. Oh yeah, okay. What? Lily Savage?
No, it wasn't Lily Savage. I'm sure I would remember that.
Was it Dame Edna Everage? No, none of them.
No, not them either. Oh, that's gonna fucking bug me now.
You can say that, Lance Reddick.
Yes, that's the one.
Jesus. Show some fucking respect to the man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I watched a bit of John Wick 4 the other day at the old IMAX, and I was like, oh, good old Lance. R.I.P. that guy. He's a legend.
He's got one of those voices, eh? It's like it's up there with the Morgan Freeman voice. It's just astounding.
Gav, while you were trying to get back online, we were saying games that needed a sequel, or you wish there was a sequel. You got one?
Two spring to mind.
I think I said one.
First, I'll take the first
Unreal.
one. Primal Rage from the SNES.
Is that the dinosaur fighting one?
Dinosaur Godzilla fighting thing, yeah.
That was fucking brilliant.
That or Simpsons Hit and Run, but I saw the other day that might be having a remaster.
That's not a sequel, though, is it?
That kind of paves the way for a sequel, though, doesn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Cool.
Or they remaster it and everyone remembers it was shit, and then there's no sequel.
How rude.
No. You don't get to say things like that when you play Disney games.
I mean, it's not wrong.
I don't play Disney games. I just
get consumed by them.
Yeah, get consumed by them. That's it.
Let's be back to some questions then. We've got Monty's back with another question, and this one is basically: is anyone thinking of using their Joker yet? Is anything tickling your fancy, making you balance on the edge, other than Gav with his bloody Star Wars thing, which probably we should count anyway?
It looks awesome. It does.
I think I covered that in a previous rant. Nah, not yet.
Are you just choosing which one to be a Joker?
That new game Redfall looks quite good. I know it's not quite out yet, but it does look quite decent. Looks very Back 4 Blood.
really don't know about that. It's no, I'm not getting any of the hype surrounding it. I mean, it's been getting absolutely slaughtered the last couple of weeks after it was revealed that they're launching it without the 60 frames per second performance mode. As soon as something bad comes along, that's all you'll see trending on tweeters. But nah, I'm really not arsed about it at all.
Nope, saw it's first person shooter. Thought, nope, no thank you.
I mean, you're kind of segregating a large part of that the gaming estate by saying you don't play first person shooters, man. That's
Look, man, if I can't see my fucking feet in the game, I've got no chance of seeing them in real life. So if I can't see them in the game, I ain't doing it.
What a ridiculous way of looking at things. At least I know that I hate third-person games by playing them occasionally.
The only first person game that I ever got on with was Portal and Portal 2.
A fine example of the genre, you see. You see what you're missing. Excellent games like that.
Si, why would you need to see your feet in a first-person shooter? Surely you're looking for things to shoot, aren't you?
Yeah, no, because I can't run and shoot at the same time. In first
What?
person.
So you have to stop,
yeah,
look at your feet, see where they are.
yeah. It's like if I don't know if my feet are going to be going on the ground, I'm going to fall down a hole, and then that's me getting shooty, bang, bang.
You do realise that you live in first person constantly. Do you just fall over things all the time? Do you fall down the fucking local well? I know you use a well living out in the fucking middle of nowhere.
I'm in fucking Scotland. Of course, we fall over a lot.
That's why he's always fucking late. He has to stop and look at his feet every 2 fucking seconds.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A look into the world of Si Stevens yet again. For me, the only thing I'm doing is trying to avoid using a joker on something that isn't worthy. There's loads of little weird my type of games that are coming out that I'll notice, or I get another notification that something's coming out on Steam that's on a wish list, and I'm like, no, it needs to be saved. If I'm going to do a joker, it needs to be for something really good. So I'm very scared about shooting my bolt too quickly, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to do a Spinkles, do you? And like spunk it on a Black Desert online.
You certainly do not want to do anything that Spink does.
Oh, one thing I did kind of forget about was there's new DLC out for Vampire Survivors. I mean that's a £1.59 DLC is not worthy of a joker, but that's a bit of a kick in the nuts because I fucking love that game. And now it's not got maxed achievements on it anymore.
Are they odd-numbered achievements, Grieve?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look at it. I just if it's finished, it's finished. It gets a little green line on it on the True Achievements website. I like that.
Facing that green line.
I am also saving my joker for that game for my daughter because if I buy it on my account, you fuckers will just go, "Hey, you bought a game."
I mean, we've spoken about this before. You just gear our own account and buy it.
Yeah, I probably could do it that way.
Well, we've got 2 questions left before we go then. First of these is going to be Julie Haswell has said, why do movies make bad video games and why do video games make bad movies? We all know this is a thing, but this has long been something that we've all known. Anything that's got a movie tie-in is pretty shit, apart from obviously Die Hard trilogy, which was awesome. Nobody can say anything bad about that. But since then, we've had some awful ones. Any thoughts, anyone?
See, I think it's to do with the time length because the video game is averaging 10 hours and your average movie is averaging an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. So if they're doing a video game to a movie, they try and cram that 10 hours of story into 2 hours, which doesn't work because you can't tell the full story. And if it's the other way around, they try and extend 2 hours of story into a 10-hour game, which means you're doing fucking side quests and collecting shit all the way through to make it a decent enough game. You're not going to pay 60 quid for a game that's like an hour and a half. And that's probably why video games lend themselves better to TV shows like The Last of Us, because they've got that effectively 10 hours. They have the time to develop the story, develop the characters, and it actually comes across a lot better.
I was just going to say that I think going from games to movies actually works a bit better than going the other way, because you've had quite a few games that have made, obviously, the original Super Mario Brothers aside. I think it's like Street Fighter. You've had good games that have made good movies, like Resident Evil, things like that. Silent Hill wasn't too bad either.
Jesus, I don't know what Resident Evil you watched, but it was shit.
They had Mila Jovovich in them. It was fine.
I watched Monster Hunter last week. Holy fuck, that was a bag of dicks. Oh, it was awful.
For me, it's probably the reason you get shit ones is trying to line up the timings. So obviously films have a set release time, and if you're going to do a game that goes alongside or based upon that, it's got to hit a certain time, which inevitably means it's going to be rushed, or it's going to have bits cut out of it, or it's not going to be as polished as it would have been. And probably the other way around as well. When you're making a game from a movie, you need to get it out the door during that period of validity, if you like, when the film's not been out too long and people haven't forgotten about it before the game comes out. So that's probably the closest you're going to get to a real answer. But Ross might have some nuggets as well.
Just obviously Sonic was fucking awesome because Sega. No, I mean that. Do you remember that game that they brought out that they tied in with the TV series that was doing like it was like week in week out different content?
Defiance.
Yeah, I quite like that as an idea. The game was pretty shit, but
The game was shit, and the TV show was typical. So I mean, I love both. I think I used that as my joker in the first year that we did this. And I loved the game, and the TV show was typical sci-fi channel fare, but it didn't work how they wanted it to work.
Unfortunately, it's one of those ideas that was probably ahead of its time, but because it didn't work very well, they won't do it again. That kind of thing really pisses me off when there's a missed opportunity like that.
Yeah, because I think they was wanting something along the lines of there would be a quest in the game, and it would be the TV show would end. There would be a quest in the game, and then what the majority of the players in the game chose to do would influence the next episode of the TV program. But what it really turned into was the episode ended, there was a big quest, and the person who scored the most points in that game had their avatar on a wanted poster in the background of the pub.
I can't even really remember it, to be honest.
I
Shite.
remember it had a really English plummy voiced actress in it that I was absolutely in love with at that time.
Oh dear, Simon. You can't confess your love to other women on this fine podcast. Right. We got one more question. This is a good one from Dave Southall again. He's got a scenario for us as a giant Royal Rumble, and each of the hosts, obviously being as important as we are, we can't get lost in battle. And we must choose a gaming champion to fight for us. So, which character from gaming are you going to send in on your behalf, and who's going to win? Bye. Which Mickey Mouse are you sending? I mean, which character are you sending in?
I am going to send Raven from the Guilty Gear series because that fucker's immortal.
But is he though? Can you die in
Well-
the game?
No, I mean, be honest. He dies. He wakes up, and everything's healed. He's no worse for wear. I mean, that includes being completely incinerated. He just simply won't die.
That could be any character in an infinite respawns kind of game, though, couldn't it?
I mean, who'd win a fight between him and Wolverine? Put him in a box and chuck him to the bottom of the fucking sea. There you go. Sorted. One.
Well, Gavin, you got to fight in your corner.
I think for me, it's got to be something like Albert Wesker from the Resident Evil series. But that's, not based on my gaming ability. If it was based on my gaming ability, it'd probably be Kirby from Kirby's Dream Land or something.
Munch the opposition.
Wesker's a baddie.
But you want to win, don't you?
But I mean, I guess the whole point of the game is you defeat him, so he's not got a great track record, does he? I'm going with Kratos from God of War because he's a literal god killer. Pretty much says it. Fight anybody. What about you, Stokes?
I'm going to have to choose Peppa Pig. No, I'm not going to choose Peppa Pig. As a long-time Halo fan, everyone knows you've got to choose Spartan John 117 to fight my corner. He's old and slow, but he doesn't let anything beat him. So you're all in trouble.
I reckon Kratos would have everyone he's.
Well, somebody needs to make this happen. There's got to be somewhere on this vast internet something where people can simulate different characters from different franchises and work out who's going to win. Surely.
Obviously, there's a YouTube series where they put up like fan favorite characters against each other. It's nothing, obviously,
Didn't MTV do that years ago?
accurate, but celebrity deathmatch with the Play-Doh. Fucking
Aye.
shit. Let's see that again. Had to be there. Sure, that was Pamela Anderson, was it?
Well, I think the real answer is nobody knows who's going to win because all these characters are essentially immortal in one way or another.
Somebody needs to make that game.
But yeah, make the game. Dave, make the game. You've asked the question, you make the game. You've got the characters to put in.
The scary thing is, this is Dave's downfall. So it's like probably one Friday night he'll fucking rock up and go, "Here, guys."
Good, I'm all for it. Make it happen, Dave. So that brings us to the end of the show for this month. Hopefully, this show makes it out, unlike the last one, and doesn't make its way to the abyss of doom. So, Ross, it's your job to speak to little Craig and make sure this audio is put out. But until next time, we've been the Euroshame Challenge hosts, and you can find us everywhere on the internet under the Euroshame.
Well, this is the end. We hope you enjoyed the show. And if you didn't, tough titties.